PG Studies, Professor and Head Department of Conservative Dentistry and Endodontics, Dr. Munish Singla, and respective Professor and Head Department of Prosthodontics, Dr. Inderpreet Kaur.
On stage, our first speaker of the session, Honorable Principal Eza, Professor and Head Department of Orthodontics, Dr. Munish Singh, to enlighten us all regarding knowledge of digital dentistry and orthodontics.
Thank you. I really appreciate this last bench. Hello. I'll tell you something very interesting. This is the first time ever that I am a speaker in my own college. This is the first time ever I am an official speaker in this college for the first time. I must thank the committee for inviting me to speak to you. Although I speak to you morning to evening, soft to hard, every day, it happens. I would request everybody to sit down, please. It distracts me. I would request all the cabinet to sit down. Thank you. And may the lights at the end please be switched off. First of all, my pleasantries to the faculty, Dean Academics, Dr. Munish Singla, PG Studies, Dr. Imtiaz Nadaf, Dean UG Studies, professors, faculty members. Not this slide, please. This will be too much. The guys are going to sleep very soon. I cannot let you make sleep. These lights be on, please. Thank you. First is, what is advanced clinical training? And what is the objective and why the entire college is sitting here for the advanced clinical training? Ladies and gentlemen, dentistry is a branch where you have stepped in by fault or by default, and the reality check of how tough this subject is seeping into you slowly, and it seeps in slowly as you move from first year to final year. And the real reality check happens when you are in the first year, because you come here with the euphoria of a word doctor attached to you, seemingly in next 4 years, and suddenly you understand that there are subjects which are so different from what you have read before in life. So from first year to final year, what you understand, what you learn is just the theoretical part with the dose of practicals, but for the fact that there are so many things which you do not know even at the end of internship. And this clearly means that the same happened for me too. The same happened for anybody from the senior-most people to the junior-most people. We have some postgraduate students sitting here, and when they go back into their practices tomorrow, they are the people who want to practice everything. They want to work on everything. Doing orthodontics alone or endodontics alone is not enough. You have to diversify, which I always say that your quiver should be full of arrows. अगर आपके टेबल पे नंबर ऑफ प्रोडक्ट्स कम होंगे तो आपके बायर्स कम हो जाएंगे. A big round of applause for Dr. R.G. Saini, our worthy registrar, the man who encourages us for everything and anything and is available on a short notice also. Sir, we beg your pardon for the same. So if your products are limited, let's imagine about a small store. Let me give you a story. There is a Kirana store at the end of your street, and he has some, say, 500 items in his kitty. And then there is a Walmart, a Best Price, More, or whatever the name be, and you enter in there, and the bloody display is so beautiful that you end up buying the things which you never thought of buying. You were hungry, you were thirsty, You went for something else, and when you were going through the aisle of the foodstuffs, you saw that there were some toffees and you picked up a couple of toffees as well. This is what you call it as more products in your kitty. So ladies and gentlemen, can I have a please pointer and a slideshow?
Sir, no hand mic देखिए.
मेरे वाला presentation लगाइए. Quickly. Quickly please. Chalega, I'm fine with this. And I'm glad that you are all a part of it, we are all a part of it, and this is the first ever private university formed by law. This is not a deemed university, it is actually a university. A deemed university status is lesser than the actual university status, okay? And well, you know me so much by now, and I don't need to introduce myself. Advanced clinical training I've just talked about, and digital dentistry is the topic. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this picture. This picture starts from the evolution of man. Evolution of man who did not know how to walk, and he was on his all 4 feet or all 4 hands, and then he one day stood up, and then once he stood up, he has never sat back again. And then the products like fire, the products like wheel, it changed the destiny of the world the way it lives today. And the last picture shows you that the same person, stooped shoulders, is sitting on a computer. Okay, fine. Let me take you to the evolution of the cars, and you can very well see that where we start from. And there is a place in America, in Pennsylvania, where there is an Amish people who live there, and they still use these horse carts and bullock carts, probably just to show how it works or how it worked. But today we have the cars which are like Tesla, the latest cars which are driven by themselves. But then I was wondering that they should not try it in Brinda, because the Tesla would not know what is kutta, billa, and a stray horse or a stray cattle. So it might be difficult for it, but still we have to understand that artificial intelligence is taking over. Fine, this is the beautiful example of a phone. Now there was a time when, I'm telling you the fact, there was a time in life when I was in a hostel class 6, 7 or 8, and the phones were this type only, and we could not call, and then this phone came in later. And in those days we would always keep thinking, we thought of that time that if a radio could be small sized, that was my first technological dream. Can a radio be this small? It was there shortly. Small transistors, if you remember. Then we thought that is it possible to have a small television? Now you have a television, each one of you having a small television in your hands. This is what technological advances, and you very well know about the Apple Watch or what watches and what not. Okay, fine, ladies and gentlemen, history of dentistry dates back to 9,000 years before Christ. Now there is a place called Mohenjo-daro, Harappa civilization, and there was a place called Mehrangarh. This is all in Pakistan today. 9,000 years before Christ. Can you believe it? Can you just believe it? 2,000 years, these 2023 years, and 9,000 years before that, before Christ. Mehrangarh, now in Western Pakistan, digging a place, 9 people had holes drilled into their molars and had survived the procedure. These people had cavities done into their teeth deliberately, that is, a filling was done, and those all people did not die of the cavity filling, but they all survived it, and that's how it all began. The patients were adults aged from 20 to 40. Concentric rings in holes suggested it was probably done using a flint point attached to a bow that made a high-speed drill. It is something like this. I'm sure each one of you might have seen this gadget in hands of carpenters. The people who belong to my age, we have seen the carpenters working at homes drilling with this flint. The drills which you see today came later. Now what does it mean? It just means that the technology cannot be stopped, and the product designers, the people who design the products, they, along with the think tank for the future, what is going to happen in future, how people would be working, how people would be using materials, etc., that run is continuously on. The consumerism has already consumed the world and will continue doing so in the even coming times. So this is one thing which you must understand. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Forbes list says, what are 5 technologies that will change the future of human race? Kindly go through what is written. Forbes list, the most trusted list in the world. It says that there are certain technologies which are going to change the world. And what are those technologies? Have a look. Till I pin up myself again. Okay. Artificial intelligence, gene technology, human-computer interfaces. So if this is true, can it be stopped in dentistry? It cannot be stopped in dentistry. Okay, fine. The first intraoral camera scanner was first. I welcome Dr. Pramod, the controller examination, the man who looks at your examinations from all aspects. Thank you, sir, for being here and encouraging the students. Okay, now I tell you a story, ladies and gentlemen. What is written here is that 1980, the first intraoral camera scan was designed. I also welcome people from Oricam, Mr. Yadish and his company, then another company which deals in scanners. And the beauty of this workshop today is that you are not being restricted to observation and look and hands-on experience of just one scanner. We have lined up 2 for you. Now I'm going to tell you a story. In 1980s, State of California, United States of America, a man called Zia Chishti, Pakistani by origin, half a Pakistani, half a white, a multi-millionaire. He was studying, and when he was studying, he was having braces. He was doing his major in computer science and economics in Columbia University, graduating in 1992. Shortly after that, he went to Stanford to get his MBA. You can very well understand what would be the level of that man who goes to a Stanford, an Ivy League college. He was wearing braces in 1992. And a couple of days back in one of the meetings here, I was telling you what is the beauty of dentistry. That we give smiles to people, and we also are responsible for the chemistry and the sparks between people. Now an American guy, 1992, young boy of 18, 19 or 20, wearing braces, wants to date, but he can't. Or he's feeling awkward. So this man, not a medico, not a dentico, thought that why can't be there an alternate procedure other than braces which is not visible. Ladies and gentlemen, 1995, California is like a Silicon Valley of India, you know, Bangalore. The most reputed technological schools of America are situated in California. UCLA, medical schools, institutes which deal in technology, and the pioneers in artificial intelligence. So he got hold of 4 or 5 friends, and all those people started working on a concept. And by the time 1980, the scanner had already been into place. Now this man started with a company which now leads the orthodontic aligning technologies. Now again, in presence of my friends from Oricam, I must tell you, I am not here on behalf of any company. I have never endorsed any product in my life, and I don't speak for companies at all. I have been into this teaching field for 22 years, and I was exposed to the aligners 5 years back. It took me time, along with my team in my postgraduate department. We sat on it, we sat and saw what is right and what is wrong, and then we decided, okay, this seems to be okay. So for me, this seems to be okay, and this is for the orthodontic purposes only. Oricam, my people from the other company, are here to teach you about the restorative procedures which the scanners will perform. Okay. Now the story gets over here, and Invisalign came into existence. Today, there is a QR code concept. I'm talking to you about the artificial intelligence. Anybody of you feels that his or her teeth are not looking nice, there is a QR code, just like the way you use for Paytm or any other thing. You scan the code, it takes you to a site. And when it takes you to a site, it asks you to take a close-up selfie of your teeth. And the moment you take a selfie, within 20 seconds, it gives you a changed expected version of your teeth through artificial intelligence. This picture is a demonstration of that. The patient was not treated. It is just a demonstration of what a QR code and artificial intelligence can do for you, and this is what happens. These QR codes are free of cost. Anybody can use them. In couple of next days, one of our postgraduate students is going to conduct a study, and that's the time when we'll open this QR code for you, free of cost, to judge, gauge, and to expect what is the outcome of the treatment which is yet to happen. Okay, now my presentation today involves something about Invisalign. Can I have my other computer on, please? Okay. Be around. The similar product will be shown to you by our contemporaries from Oricam, and it is the same technology, by the way. Now if it's a scanner, then you have to understand that scanners today which you've used so far are the paper scanners. They are nothing but a photocopier kind of a machine. But the scanners came into existence more in the automobile industry, where they wanted to manufacture these products, create the replicas, and in no time could make the changes. So what you see on the screen, for all the people, probably not the first years, if you have a look at it, now I'm using my finger, this is again artificial intelligence, I manipulate the screen. This is an image which has been created after I have scanned the patient. I have scanned the patient, and this image is translated there on the screen. This is a replica. Now the artificial intelligence and the doctor together mix up and create a plan. For example, in this case, if you want to see, you will see that the lower teeth are ahead of the upper teeth. Can you see it? So it's a class 3 situation. When you have a class 3 situation, okay, I'm sorry, please, number one. Only the upper arch. Only the upper arch from front. Only the upper arch from the left side. And again come back to it, and I go to maxilla like this view. Now these are possibilities within the softwares. And then I have to look at it from the right side, in occlusion, anteriorly, left, and I am looking at only the lower jaw. Dear friends, this scan through the artificial intelligence and the input of the doctor concerned now creates a plan. On the extreme right side of the screen, you have a look there, there is something known as written treatment plan. That has been created by me. I send the plan, they send me the result, which is like this. Now I'm going to show you what will happen. I have been given 14 plates for this treatment, 14 aligners for this treatment, and let me show you what will happen in those 14 plates. Have you been able to see it? Should I repeat? Have a look again. A teeth extracted and retracted and done. No braces, only aligners. That's what Ziajishti thought about. And today, every second patient in the United States of America is going in for aligners, be it any company. Be it any company. Let us see it from the right side. Before treatment, you can very well see the teeth, lower teeth, like this. And here we go. Let's see individually. This is the grounded dentition. Let's see what happens, and this is what happens. And then maxilla before treatment and after treatment. Now dear friends, I being an orthodontist, when I was subjected to this information, I had all the right to doubt, because I was trained in the conventional braces system. And when I was trained in that system, I would say, why should I believe this? I did not believe it. And then we started closely monitoring what can happen and what cannot happen. Then some patients in the near vicinity who belonged to the family, and some others whom I could see continuously, we subjected the treatment to that. We saw the changes, we agreed upon what was shown, because we wanted to know whether what is being shown is just a gimmick or an animation, or is it going to work also. Now what happens is, if I give my patient seventh plate, I will go to the seventh plate here, and I would compare this situation to the patient wearing the seventh liner. And each liner is worn for 7 days, which cuts down the treatment time drastically. No braces, you should wear it 22 to 23 hours a day, and you can go without a liner if you want to go for some marriage function or somewhere where it is not required, and then you keep up what you are doing, that is 22 hours, 23 hours, and in 7 days it works. Earlier I thought it would not work, but then we saw and then we believed. Okay, now let me show you yet another case before I wind up the operations for the next speech. Sorry. I'm still not used to the technology. I still go for a mouse and it delays the procedure. So in spite of the fact that, okay. I open a plan for you, and the plan is opening, and I will also tell you that all my patients are connected to me by an Invisalign app. If the patient cannot come to me, there is a virtual app which is known as Virtual Care. They keep uploading their pictures, which I can see oftenly and occasionally, and we are connected. We are connected even when we are not monitoring. Okay. Right side. Can you see the class 2 div 2 type? Can you see the central incisors bent in? The upper central incisors bent in? And the right molar is in an end-on relationship. Now I want to end the molar relation in a class 1. See what aligners are going to do. See. I have started. You can see the molar distalization. You can see the premolar distalization. You can see the first premolar distalization, and the canine is coming into a class 1. Have you been able to appreciate that? Let's see it this way. Now see it again. See what's happening? The molar on the right side is being distalized, the premolar being distalized, and the patient is getting into a class 1. I will take you to the virtual care of this patient to show you how she looks today. Haven't spoken to her for like a few days, but let me see. Here's my patient list. All patients are not compliant. Only the people who are really, doing okay. Here I am, and I will go into this. pictures loaded April 21. You can see the class 2 elastics are being used here. Now let me tell you, my dear friends, distalization of molars is one of the most difficult things in orthodontics and conventional orthodontics. I could not believe my eyes when I saw the right molar going back by 3.5 millimeters. This is the power of technology, and in spite of using the class 2 elastics, which is a part of it. So this is what the power of magic, I would rather say. Another class 2 case. I'm showing you, I'm sorry, it was a confidential thing, was not supposed to show the pictures of the patient, but I wanted to show you the pictures of the intraoral. Look at the picture here on the left side. Upper teeth completely covering the lower teeth. Upper teeth completely covering the lower teeth. 100% deep bite. This is where we start from. This is where we will end. This is where we'll start from, and this is where we will end. Lower jaw. This is where we will start from, and this is where we will end. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That was all from me. This is what I call as artificial intelligence, integrated with the human intelligence. You are the human intelligence. Use the technology to the best of your ability. Conquer the world, because you are better than the best. Thank you, my dear. Thank you, Bhutan.
Let our speaker. Of Oral Medicine and Radiology, Dr. Sudhir Rishi, to broaden our knowledge regarding digital dentistry.
Respected Principal Sir, Registrar Sir, Controller Examination, our Dean PG Studies and UG Studies, HODs, and other faculty members and my dear students. Sir, I have a question for you to start with. Me? Yeah, obviously. Can you imagine I'm in a fix right now?
Tell me more.
Yeah, can you guess it what it is?
There are only two things.
Yeah.
How are you going to speak better than me, or how are you going to fill the shoes?
Sir, you must change your name. Yeah, Virat Kohli has just batted. Okay, and you have sent the Harbhajan Singh to do the rest of the things.
But he's the night rider, you know, he's going to hit a 6. I know that.
I don't know.
A big round of applause for the speaker, please.
I personally think that knowledge is no one's arena. Everyone has. Maybe on this topic or that topic. It's in the air actually. The most important thing is that how you transfer that knowledge from one mind to another. And I think, sir, you are the one, and I will try my level best. Sir has just spoken beautifully on what is the role of the scanner in orthodontics, just in the Invisalign. What I am here for? I am here to talk about digital dentistry in broad. What exactly it is, and what is the need of it, what could be the scope, what are the things what we can get it from, what are the benefits, I mean to say, And what are the limitations? We all, like I'm talking about the practitioners, not about the students. We all have actually entered the arena of digital dentistry. I think somewhere 5, 6, 7, 10 years back, when we introduced, I think every one of us are using a RBG. It's the simplest example of digital dentistry. When we moved on from an X-ray film to a scanner, that's actually a radiological intraoral scanner. So we are already using it for last 5, 6, 10 years. And when we talk about the change in life, why do we change? What's the need? Life is going on, everyone is happy. Then suddenly comes, oh, Dr. Manish has bought this thing. Now he is going to pass us. And if we are competitive enough, we try to put that particular thing in our practice so that we can compete and we can stay in the market. And this desire drives our need. The need to change. Those who change, they survive. Those who doesn't, they strive hard to survive. So that's where the need of the things happen. So my topic for today is digital dentistry. Is this the future? I just said that within a dental care, there are several fundamental and mutually reinforcing trends that drive the deep structural changes in us. And embracing the advanced digital solutions will become imperative to stay ahead of the competition in the future, in the time to come. How we are going to go through this journey, right from the introduction, the scope, benefits, limitations, and finally the discussion and the conclusion. A good treatment outcome, as when I'm talking about the medical field or the dental field, a good treatment outcome is always possible via the incorporation of a precise treatment planning. Planning a treatment to effectively do it and to give the results, it takes a lot of sweat, lot of energy. And that's where digital dentistry has come to our rescue to make it predictable, easier for both practitioner and patient. What is digital dentistry? We'll talk about what is digital dentistry. Anything in the dentistry where we are aiding our system, our diagnosis, maybe treatment planning, maybe implementation of the treatment with the computer. That is called as a digital dentistry, whenever you are using a computer. The purpose of the digital dentistry is to enable the dental professional to deliver treatments with the help of the computer-aided tools. As the SUS said, that the digital dentistry made its foray in 1984 when Dr. Francis Durek, I don't know how he thought about the CAD-CAM at those times. 84. He was the first person to bring the CAD-CAM in 84. I don't know. And my question when I read this statement, sir, in 1984 this thing happened. Today we are 2023, half of 2023, 40 years. Did we take so many years to change ourselves? A recent data showed that still 95% of the dental clinics globally still take the impression via conventional methods. Only 5% people have changed to the digital intraoral scanner. As I said that when we talk about the scope of the digital dentistry, as soon as the patient enters your clinic, your digital records, intraoral camera, scanning, intraoral or extraoral whatsoever, CAD-CAM restorations, virtual smile design, occlusal analysis system, computer-guided implant dentistry, computer-aided anesthesia delivery. They all are the examples of the digital dentistry. We'll start and we'll go by one by one that what all things we can get it from that. Digital record. Are we similar? Are we similar? I look something else, look like something else, sir looks like something else, Munish sir looks like something else except a partners. We all are unique. We all are unique. When the unique, we all are unique, we have the different thumb impressions, we have different retina scans, we have everything different. And you know, this uniqueness in most of the dental offices, where you find this uniqueness? You find it in a paper in some cupboard. So the first thing is digital dentistry's dental record, which helps the profiling of the uniqueness of an individual. It helps you make the scheduling, your appointments, what work you have done, where you have sent that work, whether you have received that work, whether your patient has got the intimation that he has to come or not. All those things can be done with this, and this is actually a great use. Second thing, intraoral cameras. Imagine a peanut-shaped device makes your tooth a head shape. How well would you see that? And what all things what are there which you cannot get? What all information which you cannot get from that head-shaped tooth? So the biggest advantage of the intraoral camera is the magnification. Obviously, if the magnification is there, you can better visualize it, and you can better diagnose that what all the treatment needs. And these images can also be shared with your lab people for the shape selection and other things. Then, topic of today, digital scanning. Sir has already described most of the things. I'll just tell you. Digital scanning broadly can be classified into two classes. One is the dental scanners which are used in the dental clinic, and the other one is the scanners which are used in the labs. Dental scanners which are used in dental clinics can further be classified into two types. One is extraoral and other one are the intraoral. Extraoral, like I'll give you an example. How many of you think that CBCT is actually an scanner? How many of you think that CBCT is actually a scanner? Many are there. It is just an extraoral dental scanner. And what revolution it has brought, we all know. When you see a simple 2D image into a 3D thing, what kind of diagnosis or what kind of treatment planning you cannot do. Then, intraoral scanner types are the scanners which are used to take the impressions, which we are going to take the demo, and the RBGs, the PSPs, the photosensitive plates, for which we use for the IOP things. And when this CBCT and intraoral scanner, they come together, they give you the future, they show you the future of dentistry, that is digital workflow. The scanners which we use in the dental lab, they are actually the bigger scanners, they are the laser-based scanners. When you scan a patient, you do a scan of the patient, you make an STL file, you send that file to the lab. That lab, again, they have the softwares which are compatible with that. They download that impression, they plan the treatment on that impression, they make the prosthesis on particular impression, and then you implement that thing to the patient's mouth. So the process basically involves the 4 steps. But I want to tell you that this is what we call as the CAD/CAM, computer aided design and computer aided manufacture. This design has driven the automobile sector, medical field, and in dentistry it is gaining the way. It is making its way to the dentistry. There could be 2 types of CAD/CAM. One is the direct CAD/CAM, when you directly taking the impression, the patient's impression is out. And the other one is indirect, when you take an impression with your elastomeric impression material or whatsoever, and you send that impression to the lab. Then the lab people pour it, and then again they scan it. So CAD/CAM is of 2 types. One is direct CAD/CAM, when you are sending it directly. Other one is indirect CAD/CAM, when you are sending the impression. You can do that way also, but yeah, definitely that way your accuracy and your fit is going to get affected. Okay, because you are taking of impression to sending till the sending of the lab. If something happens, then that fit and accuracy obviously make a difference. Okay. The lab people, I told you, they have the visualization tools, which we call as a CAD/CAM. They design and they manufacture by milling and 3D printing. Now, earlier what used to happen, no? Sometimes kya hota tha? The patient used to come to the clinic, sir, with teeth are malaligned, and the patient, boss, I'm getting married in 10 days. So what boss should do? Give me a smile. But I want to see it first, that how would I look before getting a treatment done. Now what we used to do, we used to take an impression, we used to pour it, we used to send that impression to the lab, and we used to ask him, do a mock-up. And then that impression used to come back to you with a mock-up. We used to show it to the patient, boss, this is how you will look. But that only teeth. You cannot, that soft tissue profile was not used to be there. Only a teeth. And then the patient used to approve, okay, now you go ahead. So with intraoral scanners or with digital dentistry, a virtual smile designing is one of the best tools I have seen. So predictable and hardly takes 10 to 15 minutes. And just a chair side procedure. Treatment outcome is fully transparent, and patient can see how their smile will look like in just 10 minutes. Again, one of the things which actually fascinates me, patients come to you with a chief complaint of headache of temporal region, occipital region, difficulty in opening the mouth, chewing. Patient went to oral medicine guy, he looked all around, couldn't find a single case, couldn't find a single vertical root fracture, couldn't find anything else. Again, he goes to another clinician, he is also clueless, and we label that thing into atypical facial pain. And you don't get anything, atypical facial pain. But patient is not satisfied, he's going here and there, and one fine day he comes to a better clinician. What he does? He sees his occlusion condition. He sees that his teeth are gone down, canine is not guiding anymore, all the teeth are working in good function. This software, the digital dentistry, when I learned this, they used to call it as the T-scan. And I used to ask the person that what is the T-scan and how much does it cost? And that T-scan used to cost around 20 lakhs. With the scanners coming in, they have integrated occlusion analysis system or T-scans, which helps the clinician to locate or identify the premature contacts, forces and interrelationship of the occlusal surfaces. And you can balance the patient's occlusion with perfection. Again, very important application of the digital dentistry is computer guided implant placement. Person comes to you, you take a CBCT scan, you take a digital impression scanner, you send both the things to lab and they send you a beautiful surgical stent. What do you need to do? Nothing. You just need to keep that stent in the edentulous area and just go by that. Nothing. The easiest way to place the implant. These things, they used to be very costly earlier. Very costly. Okay? But with the advent of the scanners and CBCT scans, these things have come down drastically. The cost has come down drastically. And even, I tell you one thing, the novice in implant dentistry can place implant with perfection with the use of the surgical stents. That's one of the most important use of the digital dentistry. Many CBCT softwares, the patient when comes to us, we take a CBCT, then we analyze the space, then from our software library we place an implant and then we send that thing to the lab. Then they give you a stent and which can be used to place the implant easily. Computer-aided anesthesia delivery. Again, very, very good use. What have you ever thought that? I'll tell you my personal thing. Around a year back, I had a pain in my molar. Okay, I was not going to the endodontist, fearing. What was the fear? That he will inject. The fear of injection. And literature has actually showed it that we lose many patients just because they have the fear from injection. Another application which is gaining popularity is computer-aided anesthesia delivery. Of very good use in basically a pediatric patient. Not even anesthesia, nitrous oxide sedation also. What they do, they gauge your fear, level of your fear, and they control the speed of the injection. Why does the anesthesia pain actually? Students, why there is the pain when you inject the local? Anyone? Why there is the pain when you inject the local? So, I think I'll tell you.
Rapid infiltration.
Okay, one reason is rapid infiltration. When you push it in the hard tissues like bone and all, I agree. Any other major reason? Anyone? I promise I'll not ask the question in the final viva. If you answer it now. Okay, set. One is the speed, the pressure. Second one is the low pH, the acidic nature of local anesthesia causes the pain. Now, these machines, that computer-aided anesthesia machines, not only they control the flow, speed, pressure, but they mix the sodium bicarbonate, the alkali, to neutralize that pH. So this is actually the painless anesthesia. It reduce the patient pain during local anesthesia, slowly administers using a computerized device to control the injection speed. The few companies which are into this, there's WAN, CCS DENTISTRY, and ICT by Dentistry. Now, I think we have broadly read the scope of the digital dentistry, that it can be used in oral medicine, it can be used in prosto, it can be used in oral surgery, endo, ortho, everywhere. Now, what are benefits it's giving us? After reading so much, we cannot beat the computer. It is fast. Outcome is predictable. Obviously accurate. Productive because it saves lot of time. Definitely much helpful in the patient education and helps in the meticulous recording. Now, nothing comes without limitations. So the biggest limitation of digital dentistry is cost. Definitely, it is still costly. Though the prices have come down a lot, but it is still costly. And secondly, what I have seen the fear in dental people, the thing is dental people, they fear. The fear that if we'll spend so much, how we are going to recover it. The fear to change. The adamancy to change. I'm okay, I'm doing well like this way. I don't have any need to change. That fear and is taking us, that the question was in the first slide, why it took 40 years. You know, air rotors everyone is using. Everyone is using air rotors, no? Before air rotors, no, there were the electric motors. I think Dr. Manish and Dr. Manish would have used it or seen it. Electric motors. Then air rotor came. You know how many years did it take that electric motors to change into air rotors? 5 years. There was an overlapping time of 5 years. Overlapping time of the PFM crowns from the natural normal metal crowns were around 8 years. And implant तो बेचारा आज तक रो रहा है. We have not, implant was introduced in 1970s. आज तक वो बेचारा रो रहा है कि मुझे प्रैक्टिस में डालो. I'm good. Why? क्यों नहीं आ रहा? क्योंकि हम बदलना नहीं चाहते. The fear to change. Obviously, when we have a need, we think about all the aspects. You should change, but the economical aspects should be thought well before. Now to conclude, हम बाहर जाते हैं, चंडीगढ़, मोहाली, जीरकपुर. I was in Mohali yesterday, sir. So on the airport road now, I saw 3 hoardings, big hoardings of clothes. Corporates are coming in, not in the medical field, in dental field also. And they don't have any dearth of money. They don't have any dearth of the experienced people. They don't have any dearth of any technology. So if we want to stay ahead, we will have to change, because everything परिवर्तन is going to change. Sir showed from this big telephone to this small mobile. It just happened. Just happened in the span of 30 years. Everything is going to change. So if we want to stay, we want to strive, we want to stay ahead, we'll have to change. So what digital dentistry says, I am more than a hype, and I am going to stay. Thank you.
Good morning all. First of all, I like to congratulate you all that at Adesh we have conducted this activity as advanced clinical training module. I'm sure this activity might, like this digital dentistry for the younger generation, like people like us who are now in the private practice from many years, like more than 20 years. Still, we thought that we should introduce this thing into our practice. But for you people, it will be mandatory. It will be not choice that you will do this digital scanning or you will do the manual scanning. Like if you have to beat the inflation, few days back, I was listening to someone, I shared with my PG students also, like how the inflation rise. On an average 6% inflation rise in a year. So if a normal house has the expense of around say 1 lakh rupees per month these days, how much you can imagine your expenses will be after 20 years? Can anyone answer this? Usually like after 20 years, how much inflation will rise? Like if you are spending 1 lakh rupees per month, how much money you will be requiring after 20 years to meet those expenses? Can anyone answer? Staff? Dr. Pradeep?
Approximately 4 lakhs.
Approximately?
4 lakhs. अगर आज की डेट में 1 लाख है तो 10 साल में वो 6% से 9 सालों में वो डबल हो जाएगा, तो 4 लाख, फिर अगले 10 साल में 2 से 4 लाख.
No. You have to add 1 zero after 20 years. 6% inflation every year. So your expenses will be around 10 lakhs per month. You go back to 20 years back, just think what were our home expenses that time. What was our electricity bill? What was like our parents' salary and how much they used to earn? Why I took this example? Because like if you will not grow in dentistry, monetarily wise also, you cannot survive. For your survival, we have to introduce new things into dentistry. Like I was telling my PGs also, like implant will become your compulsion to do in a dental practice. Because if you will do only orthodontics or endodontics in your practice or restorative dentistry in your practice, you cannot earn that money. To earn that money also, or to be at par with the other peoples, or you have to compete with your social people like your other colleagues, you have to earn money. If you have to earn money, you have to introduce new things. Okay? So we will be trying to teach you new innovations, whatever we can do at our college level or at our university level. Thank you very much.